Hey, how are you doing, Adam?
Hey, yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Glad to hear it. I'll jump straight in then. So you've just watched the Hole Puncher music video. What are your initial thoughts?
Oh, on first impressions, yeah, it was really good. I like the general theme of it. It really worked well.
Thanks. Would you say that it has the potential to be a real media product? That it has some music video codes that you're aware of personally?
Yeah, I guess it's a lot like what you see other artists producing today. I mean, that was my first viewing. I noticed there was some lip syncing in there. Kind of a lot of close-up shots with eyes. I guess kind of eye contact with the performer. Yeah.
Are you referring to the convention of direct address?
Direct address. Yeah, I guess that's something you see really often in a lot of music videos. It's that thing where it appears as though the performer's singing just to the person watching, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess it's an effective way of connecting the audience. Perhaps I guess the fans are after that kind of personal level of interaction, and the more they can feel that the performer's singing to them personally, then the better.
So you mentioned lip syncing. Do you think it worked?
Yes, it's a technique that's used frequently as well. I don't mean that in a negative way though. I think it is a good idea because often those kind of standards are kind of there for good reasons, because they're kind of tried and tested and they work. When I was watching it, it was kind of easy to associate with the character because of the lip syncing. So I think you can kind of identify with that character straight away, and hopefully the rest of the audience can as well.
So it looks alright then?
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, you probably could have added more lip syncing if you really wanted to. I think it worked really well.
Would you say that the video is typical for an alternative band?
Let me think. I mean, you didn't want dancing, and a video of the band just performing would be nothing new. But I mean, your video had kind of a loose narrative, with kind of that different spin to it. I guess from what I can think of, the alternative genre usually has some kind of story to follow with that kind of other element which your video seemed to have.
Would you be happy to agree then that the choices we made with the idea made sense?
The idea made sense. Well, it was certainly original, and music videos don't always have to make that kind of logical sense. I mean, often most of them don't. They don't even really need to be clear. But with the kind of melancholy tone and tempo to your song, I think this one really suits the tempo with the lyrics and everything. I mean, that's kind of another point, is with the kind of those metaphors in the song. It would be odd to kind of take them literally. So I mean, yeah, it was a good choice.
What was your favourite element?
I mean, sorry to the actor, but I'm gonna have to go with the mannequin. It was done with stop motion, was it?
Yeah, stop motion.
Yeah, I thought so. It was really clever. Did it take you long?
Yeah, just a little bit of time.
Yeah. Other than that, just the general flow, I guess. seemed really fluid. You had those kind of close-up shots. I mean, there was just about the right amount at the right moments, I guess, with the close-ups. And then you had that nice the camera pan at the end where it was kind of from the mannequin, the feet to the head. There's a nice pan, really nice. And then it ends with the lighter, and I think in slow motion. Yeah, I mean, those little bits like that, it seemed really nice editing overall. Really, really nice.
Great. Leading on from that question, what was your least favourite element?
My least favourite? Well, this is very minor. You're doing something funny with the colouring. Maybe with like filters, you're trying to achieve that kind of those washed out colours that you often see in kind of alternative genre music videos. I don't know if they were consistent all the way through, or if they had the same theme, but I don't know. There's something a little bit off perhaps with the filters. Maybe just let the quality down slightly. But I mean, that's only a little minor thing.
Did it make it look less professional?
I don't know. Having said that, you had the kind of thing with the colours going on in the dream sequence, with kind of the dreamy blurred edges. That section wouldn't have worked as well without those blurred edges and the filters, I don't think. So the filters and a lot of it actually worked really well.
As well as the video, you saw the magazine advert and Digipack. Any thoughts on those?
Yes, your magazine advert and Digipack, right? Yeah, they seem to tie in really well. You carried that idea of the mannequin and lyrics across those items as well, and that you kind of created that link between all of those things. There's something to link them all, and that's something that promotional items need to do, I think.
This has all been really helpful so far. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Anything else? No, I think I've mentioned everything that I can think of. Maybe it's not really my genre, but if it was, then I think I'd certainly watch the video, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your feedback and time, Adam. It was very much appreciated, so thank you.
No problem.
So that was the interview I did to get some feedback. Overall, through this whole process, the feedback has provided some interesting points to learn from. I've received feedback for the pitch stage, the rough cut preview that we showed, and the final products. For the first two, we used questionnaires, and for the last one, I did an interview style. These two methods gave very different answers, and perhaps one I felt was more useful than the other. With the interview, I felt it was more of a conversation than just formal questions. The context allowed for a much more fluid interaction, and I was able to think up of questions on the spot, and I felt I was able to get more of a response in that kind of way. And if I wanted him to go deeper into a question, I could have done that. Whereas with a questionnaire, those questions are set and they're final, so you can't ever go back and kind of ask people more in depth or ask them to kind of explain themselves further, because most of the time it's just a yes or no answer that they're giving you, and it's useful for some things. So for example, I think one of them we asked, should we use a split screen, and there was a unanimous no. Now that was very helpful, because we knew from that then that everyone agreed that we shouldn't use a split screen. But for other things, perhaps like how can we improve on this, I guess it's something that people don't really think that they need to think about too much, and so they kind of just have to say, it looks good, keep doing what you're doing, which is nice to hear, but sometimes you need that constructive criticism. And I think questionnaires are useful in getting information from a wide range of people, but for that detailed analysis, an interview is a higher kind of level of feedback, I felt. The questionnaires did help us though. But after the pitch, for instance, we were able to finalise some of the finer details of the storyline and the character, and then again with the rough cut, it was at that stage where we were only ever going to be doing minor tweaks, but those minor tweaks were things that we kind of needed some help or some kind of assurance on. So the feedback definitely was valuable, and the people that gave the feedback, they were our audience. So if it was to be kind of advice from anyone, it was those people. So I guess just like learning from the feedback, you have to kind of take what people say and try and incorporate it. And you don't have to listen to everything that they say. Sometimes they've misinterpreted what you're trying to do, but at the end of the day, you can't always think that what you want to do is the right way. Sometimes people might be able to suggest a better kind of approach. So it's good to get other people's opinions, because that way you kind of come out at the end of the process with something that is yours, but is going to be kind of liked by the audience, and it's going to be a much better product for the feedback process.